In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 things that you need, you must have in order for you to be dominant in your relationship. Okay, listen, I know a lot of you guys get in relationships, right? Long-term relationships, marriages, whatever it is, and you kind of get comfortable. You get laid back, and you go to work and you just do the things that you got to do, and you let the woman kind of or you let your woman, sorry, not just the woman, you let your woman, your lady, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever the situation is, start making a lot of decisions, and the this and the that and all of that. And you kind of sit back where, like, yeah, okay, you know what, that sounds good. You might look at the money and see, okay, can we afford to do this, or can we afford to do that? But kind of like at the end of the day, you've been at work all day. You don't want to make a bunch of decisions and all that. When you come home, you just want to chill. You just want to relax. You want your space. You want to have peace. And so what happens is, over time, we get lax, we get comfortable, and we start allowing the ladies to start making a lot of decisions. But you have to understand that that is not how it's supposed to go. And without realizing it, that is a detriment and can be the beginning of the end of your relationship. Guys, you must remain dominant in a relationship, right? So I'm going to give you 3 things that you must do. 3 things. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that these are the only 3 things. I'm just going to give you 3 things in this particular video. All right, guys. So look, first and foremost, guys, you have to have the ability to lead. You must have the ability to lead. You must be able to look at certain situations, assess the situation, and make a decision. You'll never be dominant in a relationship if the woman that you're with sees that you're indecisive. You can't make a decision either way. And then you begin to let her, have to make decisions based on the entire household, or whatever it may be. Whether it's a huge decision or it's a small decision, guys, you still have to decide what it's going to be. It can be something huge, like the purchase of a car, purchase of a house, or something like that, down to something as small as, what do you want for dinner? At the end of the day, guys, you have to make the decision. If she calls you up and says, hey, what do you want for dinner? Make the decision. Don't just sit back and be like, it don't matter. What do you want? Just make the decision, okay? You need to be able to make decisions in order to lead. And in order to be dominant, you must be able to lead. So you must make the decisions. That's what leaders do. Leaders make decisions. Guys, the second thing, okay, that's very important in you being able to be dominant in your relationship is confidence. See, confidence comes into play when it comes time for you to make a decision. Are you confident in that decision? Do you understand really what's going on when it comes to having to decide between A or B? Are you confident? Listen, one of the things that come into play when it comes to your level of confidence is your body language. Your body language. Are you confident in making a decision? You know what I'm saying? Can you stand on business when you make a decision? Are you confident enough to say, okay, I know enough about this that I'm going to make the decision? Your level of confidence matters. I'm telling you right now, because if you're not confident going into certain situations, you're not going to be able to make decisions. Therefore, you're going to be looked at as a bad leader, and therefore, you'll never be able to be dominant in the relationship, guys. You must be confident. How do you get more confident? Okay. First of all, learn as much as you can about everything. Learn a little bit about this, a little bit about that. So if and when a time comes where you're questioned about something, or your lady is coming to you asking your opinion, or how do you feel about this, or she's coming to you with the issue, and now you have to solve whatever the issue is, your knowledge, because you continuously learn things, and you stay up on things and are abreast to what is going on, your level of confidence is going to come into play when it it comes time for you to make the decision. You understand what I'm saying, guys? Confidence. A woman can tell based off your body language whether or not you're confident. How do you walk? Do you stand tall when you walk? How do you speak? Are you timid when you talk? Or do you speak with authority? You know what I mean? Do you talk with your chest out? Or are you soft and scared? Guys, you have to have a high level of confidence. A woman can feed off of you, and she can tell when you're confident and when you're not. So, guys, you must be 100% fully confident in order for you to be able to lead that relationship and thereby be able to dominate in that situation. Period, point blank. If you're not confident, your woman will be able to tell. Okay? Guys, another thing when it comes to being dominant in a relationship is, let me see what I got written down here. Oh, accountability, man. Accountability. You see, all of this plays in part, right? So listen. In order to be dominant, you must lead. In order to lead, you must have confidence, right? Part of being confident, right, is holding yourself accountable for your actions. Listen, guys, you cannot blame other people for the things that you do. It all falls on you. Everything falls on you. Listen, when it comes to making decisions, right? When it comes to leadership in a relationship, right? Sometimes you're going to make a bad decision. Sometimes you're going to make a decision and then it doesn't work out the way you thought it was going to work out. If and when that happens, you still have to stand on business, period, point blank. At the point where everything goes wrong, you have to stand on that. You have to hold yourself accountable for the fact that, hey, I made a decision and it didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. And so here we are now. Now I must do what I have to do now from this point moving forward. You can't sit back and say, oh, well, this happened because, you wanted to do that, or, she did this or she did that, or blah, 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 whatever the case may be. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that there are always going to be factors that play into certain things. But at the end of the day, guys, you're a man and you shouldn't allow anybody to move you off your square. If anybody moves you off your square, that's on you. It's not on them. It's on you all day long. You understand what I'm saying? So as a man, you got to hold yourself accountable for the things that you do. And I promise you, I'm telling you, if, you're trying to be dominant in a relationship and then you make a decision and the decision doesn't go the way that you thought it was going to go, things didn't work out the way you thought it was going to work out, and now you sit back and you're pointing fingers and you're blaming this person and blaming that, well, this happened and that happened and blah, blah, blah. Nah, man. Nah, it's not good. You take accountability for the fact that this is the decision that you made. Okay, this is the particular outcome at this point. And now that you're at this juncture in the road, what are you going to do now? You got to be confident enough to say, okay, I got what it takes to get from this point now to wherever it is we need to be. Okay, we got to pivot. We got to, you know what I'm saying, transition. And instead of doing this, we're going to do that. You got to be able to hold yourself accountable. Stop pointing the finger at other people. It's not going to do you any good pointing the finger at someone else when at the end of the day, you're the one that is expected to lead. Hold yourself accountable for anything and everything that happens, regardless of what outside factors come into play. You get what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's a heavy weight, man. Listen. A friend of mine once told me, heavy is the head that wears the crown. If you want to be dominant in a relationship, guys, you got to be able to lead. You got to have confidence, and you have to hold yourself accountable, man, for everything. Even if you think it's not your fault. Yo, it's not my fault that this happened. Okay, yeah, some things are out of your control. I get that. But what are you going to do now? And that's the only thing that matters. So look, guys, any of you guys that are having issues, in your relationship, and your issues are you want to be more dominant, but for whatever reason, you don't have the confidence, you're not able to lead, whatever it is. If any of the things that I said, fall into how you feel or an area where you may be lacking, let it be known that you have to work on this. And I'm going to tell you something else, man. It's very difficult, in my opinion. It's very difficult to transition within a relationship from being a non-dominant man to establishing dominance. It's kind of difficult, right? And so I'm gonna give you a tip. Um, you can never ever ever be afraid to lose a woman. You cannot be afraid to lose that woman. You cannot be afraid to lose your wife. You cannot be afraid to lose your girlfriend. You cannot be afraid to lose, the mother of your child or whatever the situation is. You cannot be afraid because when it comes to being dominant, right, you have to be able to stand on your square. And when you have a fear of losing this particular woman, whoever she is, you tend to, slide off of that square. You tend to, you know what I'm saying, backtrack and, get a little soft or whatever so that she can have her way so that you can continue to have your way. You can never, I'm telling you right now, you will never ever be dominant in a relationship if you are afraid to lose the woman that is in the relationship with you. All right, guys. So I guess that was 4 right there. I gave you a little extra, okay? I gave you a bonus. All right. But yeah, guys, listen, those are the 3 things, okay, maybe 4 things. And I'm not saying that those are the only 4, but those are just the 4 that I'm giving in this video. Things that you must be able to be, have, or do in order to be dominant in your relationship. It's not about being a bully. You know what I'm saying? It's not about being a dictator. It's about how much influence you have over that woman. Period. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Y'all be good.